Quote, work-life balance is a myth, end quote. A very heavy hitter in the online business space recently posted that on social media. As a time management and mindset coach, I couldn't disagree more. Work-life balance is achievable, but only if you consciously work to create it. Today, I'm sharing 5 tips on how to build a work-life balance that works for you as a small business owner or solopreneur. Even if you're not a small business owner, you might still find these tips helpful. So many of the people that I talk to and coach really struggle with their work-life balance. They feel tired or overworked or burned out. They think they don't have the time or energy to create the kind of balance that they want. And many of them aren't even sure of where to start. So they don't start trying to address the problem at all. Instead, they continue surviving with the same work-life balance mix that hasn't been working for them at all. However, neglecting work-life balance in the long run can lead to significant problems down the road. It can cause increased stress, resentment, burnout, and even health issues. In fact, up to 90% of illness and disease are stress-related. Therefore, building work-life balance is important not only to help you feel better now, but to safeguard your physical, mental, emotional, and social health into the future. Hey there, I'm Amy Shield, time management and productivity coach for small business owners and solopreneurs. And today I'm sharing 5 ways to build a work-life balance that works for you as a small business owner or solopreneur. What doesn't get measured can't be improved. Therefore, the first step to achieving a great work-life balance is to define what balance means to you as an individual. People sometimes believe that balance is supposed to be even and symmetrical, kind of like this. In reality, though, balance is fluid. It's not static. It's not like this. It's more like this, kind of ebbing and flowing. It's less of a constant equilibrium and more of kind of a gentle up and down. There will be times when, out of necessity, your balance skews more toward your business. Likewise, there will be times when balance will skew more toward your personal life. So, what does balance mean to you? What are you seeking when you say that you'd like to improve your work-life balance? It's important to define this for yourself individually because what feels balanced to me might not feel balanced to you. For example, on the day that I wrote the content for this video, my workday was 16 hours long. I started working at 4 a.m. and wrapped up my workday at 8:30 p.m. And I'm okay with that. Due to various circumstances, it just happened to be a day where I had a lot going on work-wise, and so I worked a lot. I have a really easy day this Friday, and I'm taking off half of next week for my birthday. And so even though I don't want to work 16 hours every day, I'm happy with the balance I've created, and I know that that one 16-hour workday isn't going to be my norm, and I have some breaks coming up as well. Maybe for you, balance includes doing one fun activity every week, or taking 30 minutes to yourself each day, or taking off every Friday. You might find it challenging at first to define what work-life balance means to you, and your definition of balance will probably change over time. However, don't overthink this. Come up with what sounds good to you in terms of balance, and then try it out. If it works out and feels great, perfect. If not, try something else. The next step in building your work-life balance is to identify boundaries in your work and your personal life and stick to them, except in rare cases. So what's a boundary anyway? In this particular context, it's kind of like a line that you draw around yourself in relation to your time, attention, and energy at work and in your personal life. You can think of boundaries also as decisions that you're making in advance. For example, I have a boundary that says I'm not to be disturbed if I'm on a coaching call or giving an online presentation here in my home office. In other words, my husband won't try to come in or get my attention unless it's a true emergency. Here are a few more examples of boundaries that I have for my work and personal life. I don't coach clients or do consultations on Fridays. I don't work on my business on the weekends. If someone wants to meet me for a networking coffee and they can't do it on a Tuesday, there's a good chance I'm going to decline. I don't coach anyone without their knowledge or consent. And when I'm hanging out with friends or family, I take my coach hat off unless I'm specifically asked to weigh in on a topic or issue from a coaching perspective. For example, if I receive an email from someone asking if they can do a consultation with me on a Friday, that's a decision that's already made in advance because I have a boundary saying that I don't do consults on Fridays. It's an easy no for me, and it's also an opportunity to find a day and time that work better for both of us. Now, have there been times when I've crossed every one of those boundaries? Absolutely. But those instances are few and far between. Sticking to those boundaries as fully as possible helps me protect both my work time and my personal time. That ultimately helps me build the work-life balance that I want. The next step in building a work-life balance that works for you is to get really intentional about the life side of work-life balance. There are actually two parts to this step. The first one is to understand activities that excite you and activities that recharge you. And there might be some activities that do both. For example, I'm an introvert. While I enjoy spending time with people, it takes a lot out of me in terms of energy. So while going out with friends or volunteering with a group might excite me, I know that I'm going to feel a little drained afterward. I typically need some time to unplug, decompress, and recharge after I spend time with people. So, what does this mean in practical terms and in relation to work-life balance? Since it's exciting for me to spend time in my personal life with friends, but it doesn't help me recharge, I'll do my best to maybe schedule it mindfully. Perhaps I schedule time with friends on a Thursday evening if I know I'm going to have a quiet day on Friday working on back end stuff in my business. Or if I want to volunteer in my free time, which is something that I love to do, maybe I choose a project that I can complete alone rather than volunteering in a group. That way, it can be both exciting for me and help me recharge. Even if my ideal scheduling scenario doesn't work out, I always do my best to sneak in some time to help myself decompress. So make a list of some activities that you enjoy doing outside of your business, the exciting ones, and a list of activities that help you recharge during your personal time. And again, there may be some overlap on these two lists, and that's totally okay. The second part of this step, you've got to get those activities on your calendar. As I've said before, creating a workable work-life balance takes effort. If it's not on your calendar, there's a good chance it's not going to happen. Scheduling time for activities that excite or recharge you in advance increases the likelihood that they'll actually happen. Remember, these activities don't have to be big, expensive, or take up tons of time. Maybe it looks like setting aside an evening for yourself here and there, or planning to meet a friend for a quick 20-minute coffee break, or even a nice lunch or dinner out with your partner. Whatever you choose, get at least one activity that excites you and or recharges you on your calendar every week, whenever that's possible for you. And then from there, add in more activities depending on your schedule and your needs. The fourth step to building a work-life balance that works for you as a small business owner or solopreneur is to identify and incorporate micro-balance activities into your schedule. What are micro-balance activities? It's a term that I literally made up. But in essence, micro-balance activities are brief, simple activities that help you recharge and decompress throughout your workday. The human neurological system was not designed to do intense mental or physical work nonstop or for hours and hours and hours at a time. Micro-balance activities can give your neurological system a rest and help even out your work-life balance throughout your workday in these little, small, but effective, impactful ways. Here are some ideas for micro-balance activities. Take a 5-minute walk. Call a friend or loved one who you enjoy talking to. Do a brief meditation. Spend a few minutes reading a book or an interesting article online. Take a bit to check your social media feeds if that's something that helps you relax, recharge, and decompress, which it's not for everyone. Relax in a quiet, dark room. Enjoy a favorite beverage or a favorite snack. Do some chair yoga or some stretching. Spend a few minutes journaling or watch a funny video. You can schedule your microbalance activities if you'd like, or you can incorporate them into your days and weeks on an impromptu basis. Try some different approaches and do what works best for you. For small business owners and solopreneurs especially, it can be easy to cancel personal time in favor of getting things done in your business. After all, if you're integral to your business's operations and success, who else can or will do that work? Now, listen, it isn't wrong to cancel life stuff in favor of work stuff here and there, or vice versa. However, doing it consistently can lead to increased stress, poor work-life balance, and even burnout. Therefore, it's important to treat the life appointments on your calendar as important meetings and guard them as much as possible. Remember, as a business owner, you don't have to tell anyone why you're not available at a certain day and time. You aren't required to justify, give in, accommodate, or rationalize the decisions on how you spend your time and energy. The bottom line is a disruptive habit of canceling life or personal time in favor of work tasks consistently is kind of like playing checkers. By contrast, preserving that life or personal time on your calendar is a lot more like playing chess. It's strategic. By finding other solutions or simply saying no sometimes, you're honoring the time and space that you need physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and socially. That typically means you'll be better rested, recharged, and ready to tackle whatever comes up in your business. See? Strategic. Work-life balance doesn't happen on its own. Just like any other state that you'd like to create, it takes time, effort, and intentionality. Today, I shared 5 ways that you can build a work-life balance that works for you. Here's a quick recap. Define what balance means to you as an individual. Identify and enforce boundaries in your work life and your personal life. Identify the life activities that excite you and or recharge you. Identify and incorporate microbalance activities into your workday and your work week. And finally, guard the life or personal time on your calendar as much as you possibly can. If you're struggling to create a workable work-life balance, here are a few things to know. It is totally normal to feel overwhelmed, unsure, or even guilty about wanting a better work-life balance. It's possible to optimize the level of balance that you're operating on, and you don't have to do it alone. As a time management and mindset coach for small business owners and solopreneurs, one of my greatest passions is helping my clients find ways to build their business while also nurturing their life outside of work. Hop on a free call with me. Let's talk about what your balance looks like now, what you'd like it to look like, and how I can help you make it happen. Hey, I'm Amy Shield, time management and productivity coach for small business owners and solopreneurs. Thank you so much for checking out my video today. I hope you have an awesome day. Bye-bye.